Hello once again, Star Wars and Unboxing fans. Welcome to another episode of Darth Tuba's Star Wars Unboxing Show. I'm your host, Darth Tuba, and today we are looking at some older items that I found in our archival Darth Tuba collection that I never opened, and I'm looking to unbox today. And why is it? Well, you'll notice a theme. We have got the Skirmish at Carkoon Battle Pack, which features three aliens, Barada, Klaatu, Nikto, and Han Solo, and a sail barge cannon. And we also have our slave Leia, which I just feel like we need to have a slave Leia. And we also have our Battle at Sarlacc pit, which includes a skiff and it includes a Sarlacc base. Why would I be unboxing all of these things? Oh yes, we have a Jabba sail barge that needs some decoration around it. So I've prepared a space for it, and we are going to unbox these right now. Why don't we start with the smallest thing and work our way up to the Sarlacc. And here we have the Power of the Force, Princess Leia, Jabba's prisoner, from around 1997. So we're looking at a 22-year-old figure here. But I believe this would be the first release of, and by the way, this is a star case. I got a whole bunch of these. I used them for a while there when the first Star Wars figures were coming out in the early 90s. The original, I can't say re-releases. The original, you had your vintage, and then you had your Power of the Force 2, okay? And when they were first coming out, I picked up a whole bunch of these cases in an effort to, I just turned on, why is every time I even move, my Force link goes on? But anyway, I turned them on in an effort to thinking, well, I'll probably not take the figures out of the package, so I'll protect them and they'll be nice. And lo and behold, they just never stopped making figures. It just kept going and 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 going. So there's just not enough room. So I will use the star case to protect some of the vintage figures that I have. And I am, slowly building a collection of vintage, original vintage. And those star cases are good. They protect them from, the light and fluorescence and things of that nature. And I want to get this figure open. It comes with a chain, which is perfect because Leia is going to need something to get ready to strangle Jabba with on the barge. So here we go. And again, for those watching that are like, I can't believe you're unboxing them. Believe me, folks, the Power of the Force figures are great. And I do have a few of every card style from Power of the Force on, just for the purposes of nostalgia. But I gotta say that in all reality, these are really not meant to be in the box. I mean, they're not going to be valuable like that. So anyway, so here we go. We have Leia now. I will say, the more modern, modern news of the day has reported that Disney has decided no longer to make Princess Leia action figures, and or Slave Leia, I should say, not Princess Leia. Now, I don't know how true that is. I don't know if it's really any, they think it's an inappropriate figure. People have been offended by it because it's basically a Leia in a bikini. But I think that it might also just come down to the fact that there isn't a heavy-duty market for that particular toy. I could be wrong. It could be completely what people are thinking, that it's because they don't want to offend people or whatever, but they have also released quite a few leading up till now, and I don't know how necessary it is. Although I don't know if they've done a 6-inch Black Series. I have to look back on that. I don't remember if they did or not. So, but the first one out of the gate was a pretty decent figure. So that's a good one. That'll go well in the barge. And here we have our nifty Return of the Jedi. I mean, I call them battle packs. It's not really a battle pack. It doesn't actually say battle pack. It's just they have a nice figure collection. In this particular case, this came out in 2004. And this was, this was a series of different packs of multiple figures, and usually some other kind of item like this. A lot of them were repacks, maybe some of them repaints. They just brought them all back in one little set to kind of sell them, maybe save a few money on buying 4 figures at once, that kind of thing. And it is a nice little display, but essentially it really isn't a diorama or anything. It's just the figures. So I have absolutely no guilt about opening this one up and seeing what they come up with. I have noticed with some of these multi-pack figures that sometimes the quality of the figures is lacking a little bit in comparison to when they were released by themselves. Okay, what do we have here? We have, let's open up from this side too. Maybe I can push it out. Okay. Oh yeah. I don't know how many older people remember Jedi Master Points. For a long time, they were releasing. It was almost like a play on the proof of purchase, and you could. There we go. And you could collect Jedi Master Points, and then use them for something. Maybe they were going to do something with. Maybe they're going to do something where you could, a bunch of points could purchase, like a hat or a T-shirt, or maybe even other figures. Maybe they were going to use it like a proof of purchase. Who knows? Of course, I think that idea was shot down eventually when they realized, oh, wait a second. If we're going to do this, then we're going to have to follow through on that. And if we follow through on it, that means that there are going to be people out there with thousands of Jedi Master Points. I mean, if figures, I don't know if the Leia had one. No, Leia didn't have one, but I forget when they started doing that. But when I remember, I must have had several hundreds, if not thousands, of points, and there just wasn't. And I think there was. Sorry for the noise, folks. There was some things available they tried to do, but at the end of the day, it was like. Hang on 1 second. Sorry for the noise. Ooh, this one comes with stands. I'm gonna have to pull out the old blade for this one. I know. Everybody's calling. Like, always good to have a. There we go. Whew. And off you go. Yeah, it's always good to have a. Not exactly sure what this one is, unless this is part of this one. Let's take a look here. Well, obviously we have our dual cannon here. We have our little. We have our. How do we fire? Oh, yeah, okay. So here's our cannon. I hate firing the cannon because if I fire these, they're inevitably going to find themselves. Oh, I see. They'll inevitably find themselves, getting stuck somewhere. All right, so I'm not 100% sure. Oh, I think I see this. Yeah, there we go. Okay. I see. So looks like this is where you're kind of standing to launch the cannon, that kind of thing. Okay, so let's get our cannon here. And we're actually going to put this off to the side. And Leia, we're going to, since you're get the gun pointed at the deck. Now, let's talk a little bit about stands. There have been tons and tons of Hasbro release stands and fan produced or private third party people stands, and they don't always work. These pretty good. So interestingly enough, some of these figures only have one foot peg hole, which is interesting. One piece of trivia: these characters, Klaatu, Barada, Nikto. A little fun fact for those who don't know: those three aliens, Klaatu, Barada, Nikto. If you have ever seen the movie The Day the Earth Stood Still, and I'm talking about the original, The Day the Earth Stood Still, the black and white 50s science fiction masterpiece, that was kind of the language that the alien spoke. And he said those words, Klaatu, Barada, Nikto. So they decided to name these characters after that phrase, which I thought was pretty cool. A nice little nod to some old science fiction. So that's pretty neat. I got to give them up for these stands. These stands are outstanding. See what I did there? They do stand beautifully in these. I will see how they last over time, but that's a nice thing to have, especially when we start adding our other items here. So let's get. Oh, I forgot to put my my Boskin IG-88 up. I'll have to do that later today too. I gotta put them in the shelf. All right, so this is an awesome gift set. 2008 Legacy Collection, and they've done some pretty awesome things. They've done some pretty amazing setup here. This is not just a figure pack. It obviously includes the skiff. And yes, I know a new skiff is coming, and I will probably get the new skiff because I was laughing. I was like, and people have been watching the episodes. I cannot find. I swore I had a skiff. It might be this one, but I swore I had one that I had opened up. But I can't find it. Not for the life of me. I have the original one, the one from like 1983, 4, or 5, in that general vicinity. It's sitting inside one of the display cases. I didn't want to really get that one out. I wanted to find one that's a little more geared towards the newer Hasbro, and I couldn't find one. So then I found this one. So I'm thinking this was it. And if I do find another one, it's fine. But if I don't, and the other one comes out eventually, I still want to get that one because, remember, there were 2 skiffs in the scene. So I'm going to want to complete the scene. Okay, and then, of course, this comes with the Sarlacc action figure because, let's face it, Sarlacc was a character, so it only stands to reason that it should get its own action figure. So here it is. Now, I will say that the Sarlacc pit base is similar. Let me just get this. This is going to take some nice photography art on the back. This Sarlacc base here is a very, very thin plastic. Okay, so if you do decide to take yours out of the package, just be careful. Okay, you've been warned. It is. Excuse me. Sorry there. It is definitely something that needs just be careful with it. And I don't think it's going to last like our lifetime. I think that there's a couple of cable things I have to clip here. Come on. I am. Okay, there we go. Got this. Got that. Yeah. Probably should have the camera on this angle so you can see what I'm doing. But I am planning on getting rid of the cardboard part of this, which is good. Okay. Just put this down like this for a minute. All right, so what do we got here? We got Boba Fett as he's about to get eaten. Thoughts? Maybe leave in the comments section. Do you think that Boba Fett got eaten by the Sarlacc? Or do you think that he flew out as the comics kind of claim that he did? It's an odd looking. This is kind of a play feature Boba Fett. I'm not exactly sure what makes his arm do what it's doing, and his head's very loosey-goosey. So we'll just kind of get him, hanging off the skiff or something. All right, now I got to be very careful. That's another kind of scary part about doing this is that these figures have been they've been sitting in this particular display for 10 years. Gosh knows what's going to happen when you try to take them out. Okay, on the one hand, some of these, it depends on the year, it depends on the kind of figure. These figures all have a lot of articulation, okay, and sometimes the joints are all kind of mixed up and stuff. So there's Luke, and I'll get some close-ups of everything when we have the oh yeah, that's right. I remember this. Oh my goodness. Let's get this like this. Okay, I'm trying to get the skiff out. All right, here's the skiff. Need to get this landing gear up. Okay, let's see if I can place this down. All right, and wow, there's lots of little nooks and crannies that go to this. I'm just trying to get the figures out at the moment, but of course the biggest one being the Sarlacc itself. But now that I'm looking at, yeah, see, that's what I got to watch out for. All right, let me get Han and Lando out of this little concoction. No Chewie, huh? I guess no Chewie. All right, nice little backdrop. It's cute, but again, space has to win out eventually. And in addition to space, you also got to remember that we have a Jabba sail barge that must have a Sarlacc, and just so happens that we have one. So let's do it. I will also say that the figure. I apologize. This is like very, very complex. And look at this thing. It's like his weapon is all over the place here. I'm trying to actually cut around the weapon so that, there it is. Okay, there he goes. Gosh, poor Han. He's got his gun, he's got his other weapon, and he's going to knock out poor Lando. And then I got to get Lando. Ay, ay, ay. Poor Lando. So, I mean, I like the quality of the figures. I mean, I certainly like the detail and the sculpting, but at the same time, I feel as though they might have started cutting corners at this point, and I think that's kind of where eventually it was determined. It was eventually determined that they decided to go with the cheaper 5-point of articulation, and I like that. I know sometimes these figures get a little bit wonky to me. I mean, I appreciate the ability to pose them any way you want, okay, and that's good, but I also feel like if you have things bending too much, it causes an issue. All right, and then the last thing is the Sarlacc itself, which is kind of scary. I need to try to figure. I have to work the cardboard around here. Okay. My goodness. I mean, I don't want to give up the plastic here. It's cool. It's a nice little. I mean, it's flimsy. I honestly don't know how long it's going to last. To be honest, I think this thing I could walk down here. It's like having the masks. Now it does see when you take that off. You have a little more heavier piece right here. So that's cool. Let's talk about the Sarlacc for a little bit. Keep in mind that I keep this channel family friendly, but I gotta say, yeah, this thing is just bizarre. So it's wow. Now that's a harder piece of plastic, okay? And then you got the Sarlacc itself. Now, of course, this is the special edition Sarlacc, which actually included the Seymour. I call it the Seymour edition. Okay, so let's. All right, so I think that includes everything. All right, so this was a complicated unboxing. Let me say that. Not that I'm complaining. Okay, but it's just complicated. All right, so basically what you've got here is you've got your. It does have two lock-in kind of pieces here, so you have to kind of align it. There it is. Okay. I guess you can put this down, and then you can just kind of, once you've done that, you can kind of just place this down where it needs to be. And then you just kind of rest this over top. Let's see if I can do this more camera angle-y. It's not necessary for you to get too crazy with it. I do believe that there have been some channels that have done like their own dioramas using this and kind of made it kind of stand out themselves, that kind of thing, which is good. Okay, then you have the skiff, and it does include this little it's just a little gate that comes across, falls across. Now, unfortunately, the years have not, this is a very thin piece of plastic, so you got to be really careful because it's a little, the one side. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm not going to do the mechanism here that. Okay, set that up there, and then we have Luke. I'm not going to bother with the Luke. And we got Han. Oh, wait, I forgot about my little. Wait, sorry. I forgot about my other skiff guard. Ay, guys. It's almost like they didn't want me to unbox this. They're fighting me every step of the way. Crazy, man, crazy. So, but this stuff, these kind of, I want to call them rubber bands, but they're really not rubber bands. They're more like plastic bands, and they do disintegrate over time. Eventually, and in fact, I had another set, a toy, years ago, and it was another pack that included both. Yeah, I think I want to get them. Why doesn't it want to stay there? All right, there we go. Yeah, you can see the front gate already. It's been bent too much in one position. So I'm trying to, without cracking it. I think I just accomplished what I needed to. Here we go. It's got a little pin thing. Yeah. This is why, if you want collectible items, look at his poor sword, or his poor vibro thing. It's like bent. This comes a point where you just have to remind yourself that these are plastic playthings. Not, man. I'm gonna hang Lando over here on the Sarlacc, because and I'm gonna put Boba Fett in the Sarlacc. Put Luke on this side, and I'll keep Han over here. So just for the moment, and I guess you didn't fall yet, dude. Jeez, it's kind of a challenge to get these things to line up, but I'll work on that in a second. Come on. Line them up here then. See, that's part of the problem with these more highly articulated figures, is that you're dealing with, they're harder to keep up, they're harder to stand, which means is why it's nice to have these as options for when you are having ones with stands, especially for dioramas. again, Princess Leia, I never had much luck when it came to female figures because the feet are so small, So all of these guys, I know that when you look at it closely, you'll see that there are actually quite a few repeats, doubles. There was an unboxing I did last week where I actually unboxed, I think, this exact figure, or it was in a package. I didn't unbox it, but I found 2 of these figures, 2 different repaints, and so there's going to be a lot of them in there. But I just want to get more of the Jabba denizens in there, so that'll do it. Okay, we will get the end of the shot. We will actually. I'll try to get some close-ups to insert, but the end shot you'll see everything up with the barge. Okay, so stay tuned to the very end, and thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, hit the notification button. Again, I drop videos every Sunday and Wednesday. I probably will get either a live video or a shelf talk next Wednesday. And check me out on Instagram and Twitter at Darth Tuba, Facebook Darth Tuba Star Wars Unboxing page, and email me at darthtuba77@gmail.com, or leave a comment if you have any questions, suggestions, or whatnot. I got a few other great ideas in the plans, including a trip to Disney. So we'll probably do a quick walkthrough of Launch Bay, see what they got going on there, and what merchandise they're offering in Disney at the moment. So thank you so much, and until next time, may the Force be with you.